Though the main DC cinematic universe may be going through a slight rough patch, that isn't going to stop its animation department from bringing us a fun, tail-wagging adventure. Shining the spotlight on the pets of the DC universe, there's plenty of animal-focused superhero and supervillain shenanigans to go around. Of course, we just had to ask, which of these pets is the most heroic and who is the most wicked? Hey guys, I'm Brad with Wicked Binge, and this is DC League of Super Pets, Good to Evil. Just a quick note, given that these are legacy characters that we're dealing with, when it comes to their ranking, we're only going to be focusing on what happens in the film, and we won't be bringing in any additional background information from the comics or cartoons. Obviously, major spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go see the film and come back when you're done. As always, we're going to be starting with our most noble and pure-hearted. These characters are the Good. Easily earning our gold medal of good is Ace, aka Bat-Hound. On the surface, Ace may seem like your standard snarky character, someone who easily gets annoyed with an enthusiastic character like Crypto, not giving him much respect. However, there's actually a lot more to Ace than meets the eye. Even before he's granted superpowers, Ace is a very good dog who cares about people, sometimes even more than himself. When we're told his tragic backstory, we learn that back when Ace still had a family, he had saved his kid from falling down the stairs. Unfortunately, because this save involved lightly biting the kid, it resulted in Ace getting sent to the shelter. But for as sad as this turn was, Ace makes it clear that he doesn't regret his decision, and that if he had to get sent to a shelter in order to save a kid, then so be it. While in the shelter, Ace tries to be a good friend to the other animals, not only promising to help them escape their cages, but giving them hope as well, telling them that he's gonna take them to an animal farm upstate. After becoming super strong and invulnerable, Ace becomes even more heroic, taking several hard hits in order to save others and encouraging Crypto when he's at his lowest point. He even saves Crypto's life on multiple occasions. Simply put, Ace is loyal when it comes to his friends and the people he cares about. And we're honestly not too surprised that he becomes Batman's pet in the end. With all his heroic deeds throughout the film, he more than earns our highest honor. For our silver medal of good, we have PB, a pot-bellied pig who can change size. Though not quite as heroic as Ace, PB is probably the most pure-hearted out of all the shelter pets. As hard as it may be being a pig up for adoption, PB does her best to stay optimistic and positive for the sake of her fellow pets. She encourages them to stay hopeful about their adoption chances, and after their first failed fight as a team, she encourages Ace to talk to Crypto in the hopes of cheering him up. PB also has a great level of admiration and respect for Wonder Woman, often trying to be like her, resulting in her needing to learn how to love herself and be her own person. This then allows PB to help in the final battle, growing to an absolutely huge size and acting as both the perfect ramp and the perfect cushion, playing one of the, literally, biggest parts in the rescue of the Justice League. Between her optimistic spirit, her kind heart, and her willingness from the very beginning to try and be heroic, we felt that she was most definitely top 3 material. Getting the bronze medal of good is Metropolis's favorite reporter, Lois Lane. Now, compared to our first 2 characters, she's admittedly more of a minor character. However, in the scenes where she does show up, Lois makes it clear that she has all the characteristics that a great incarnation of Lois Lane is supposed to have. Though she can sometimes get understandably frustrated about their date night getting interrupted, Lois takes it in stride and understands that Superman's job as hero comes first, not holding that against him. In fact, she does her best to help when situations like the one with Lulu arise. When Superman is first getting attacked, she calls up the Justice League so they can help. Later on, she tries to interrogate Luthor in the hopes of finding and helping Superman herself after the League is also captured and defeated. Furthermore, instead of disliking Crypto for being in the way, Lois shows that she cares about Crypto just as much as Supes, and suggests that Supes gets him a friend, not to give Crypto something to keep him busy, but to help make Crypto feel less lonely. It would have been so easy to make her annoyed with Crypto, and we're thankful the film didn't go that route. Speaking of Crypto, this famous superdog is next on our list. Being the pet of Superman, it's unsurprising that he's just as heroic as Supes, being more than happy to help stop bad guys alongside his owner. Additionally, he also cares a ton about Clark, and even after being poisoned with kryptonite, Crypto still puts himself in harm's way and tries to do everything he can to save his boy. Crypto also learns how to be a better friend. When Ace tells him about how important it can be to listen to someone, Crypto takes this to heart and starts to actually listen to his teammates when they're in distress, which then allows him to help them through their struggles. Crypto's even willing to make the ultimate sacrifice in the film's climax, using his strongest and deadliest move to assure that Lulu is defeated once and for all. But for as many good qualities as Crypto has, there are also a couple of faults that keep him from our podium of good. Though he is mostly loyal, he's also a bit possessive. Crypto struggled with his own feelings of jealousy when he realized how serious Clark's relationship with Lois was. He took these feelings out on Clark, and although it was an accident, it still resulted in Soups getting captured by Lulu. Thankfully, his willingness to not only make up for this mistake, but to grow and become an even better friend and pet keeps him from going any lower. Next is Clark Kent, aka Superman. Although he's not much more than your standard Superman incarnation, that doesn't make him a bad version of Superman or even a bad character. When danger calls, he jumps into action and saves the day. He also cares a lot about both his dog and his girlfriend. While there may be times where he has to put Lois over Crypto, Clark never does this maliciously, even if Crypto still takes it the wrong way sometimes. All Clark wants for his dog is for him to be happy and to have other friends, and when he sees Crypto accomplish this, he's proud of Crypto. We may not get to see too many heroic deeds from this Superman since he spends most of the film being held captive. We're shown over and over again that he's got a good heart, and really, what more do you need from a Superman? Next, we have Chip the Squirrel. Chip is a fairly nervous and anxious character. Not helping matters is the electrokinesis that he develops after getting hit by the orange kryptonite. Being an anxious animal, Chip is often stuck in his own head, worrying himself sick about potentially hurting others with his powers or getting hurt himself. But that's not to say that he's a coward or anything like that. He clearly wants to help. It just takes him a while to actually do it. Not that we can blame him. Electric powers seem pretty hard to control. Thankfully, after some encouragement from his friends and some advice from Crypto, Chip is able to step up, allowing him to help fight alongside Green Lantern and the other pets in the final battle. Maybe not the strongest or most heroic squirrel we've ever seen, but we feel that he still earns his place on the Super Pets team, having the determination to keep trying despite his own anxieties and issues. Next, we have the other members of the Justice League: Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Cyborg, and Green Lantern. While we would have liked to rank them individually, they just don't get enough development compared to Soups and the Super Pets. But while they may not stand out much, they're still a fun and overall heroic group. When they're not stuck in cages, they don't hesitate to use their powers to stop villains like Lex and save the day. Additionally, while they may lightly judge Superman for being so affectionate with his dog, the League members show a good amount of respect to the Super Pets once they see them fighting, seeing them as true heroes and not just animals. This makes their adoption of these pets at the end of the film sweeter. While we may have wished that they got a bit more to do in the movie, their morality as heroes is still on the level, allowing them to stay firmly in the good tier. Finishing off the good is Merton McSnurtle. As the oldest member of the Shelter Pets gang, Merton is also the snarkiest. She's crass, will usually insult characters like Crypto, and isn't afraid to drop a curse word or two. She can also struggle with staying focused on the task at hand, being more interested in eating leaves and flowers or flirting with what she thinks are other turtles. To sum it up, she leans into the kooky old lady type. However, when the chips are down, Merton is willing to help out with the cause, doing her part to save the League and take down Lulu once and for all. While her personality may not be the most pure and heroic, we still don't feel she does enough wrong to push her out of the good tier. And hey, even crude, leaf-obsessed old lady turtles can still have their heroic sides. Moving on, we're going to make a quick stop in the neutral zone to look at characters who aren't quite heroic or villainous. This is the gray area. Starting the tier are two characters, Keith and Mark, a pair of guinea pigs recruited by Lulu. With one having fire powers and the other having ice powers, you would think these two would have some pretty extreme personalities to go with their extreme powers and body temperatures. But nah, they're just a couple of chill guinea pigs. They do help Lulu when she grants them and several other guinea pigs powers, being willing to kidnap the members of the Justice League as well as fight the other super pets. However, when they learn that Lulu wants to actually kill the Justice League, they tell her that this crosses the line. After being tossed aside by Lulu, Keith and Mark try to help the super pets defeat her by telling them her plans, and by the end of the film, they're not only part of the team, but are pets now too, forming bonds with Aquaman and Cyborg. Honestly, it was fun seeing them make a turnaround for the better. Also, they're voiced by the comedy duo Thomas Middleditch and Ben Schwartz. And who doesn't love Middleditch and Schwartz? Last on the gray tier is Mercy Graves, Lex's right-hand woman, although maybe that's giving her too much credit. While she may technically be his assistant, making her an accomplice in his evil plans, Mercy never really does anything to actually help with these plans. We don't see her fighting or doing the tech work or anything like that. She just mildly insults Lex and even bails when things start getting too dangerous for her. She's such a non-character that if it weren't for the mid-credit scene, we probably wouldn't have included her. At the very end of the film, she offers a bit of, well, mercy to Lulu, asking her if she wants to be her pet instead of spending the rest of her life alone. It's another happy surprise that we wouldn't have expected from a character as dry and seemingly uncaring as her. But even with this act of kindness, Mercy's overall lack of input in the story makes her pretty much perfect for our neutral zone. Finally, we've arrived at the lowest of the low. These characters are the bad to evil. The bronze medal of evil is going to the unexpected kitten assassin, Whiskers. After being saved by Lulu, Whiskers decides that he's gonna serve Lulu, using his newly gained missile and bomb launching powers to briefly stop the Super Pets in their tracks. He not only tries to destroy the Super Pets using fiery explosives, but he does it with a smile and a giggle, pretty much playing into the creepy child trope. Although this role is small, it's certainly memorable, and while we can't fault him for wanting to help the guinea pig who saved his life, attempted murder is still more than enough to get you a place on our lowest tier. Our silver medal of evil, we're giving it to Lex Luthor. If we had a nickel for every time Mark Maron voiced a bad guy who works alongside an evil guinea pig in a 2022 animated film, we'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's a weird thing to happen twice, right? Anyway, much like how Superman is his standard self in this film, Lex is also his standard self. He's arrogant, self-serving, and only cares about gaining power, killing the other heroes, and eventually ruling the world. This never changes either, even after Lulu captures the League and offers to work with him. Lex instead tries to betray her, putting so much importance on his own reputation that he refuses to share any credit with a guinea pig. Additionally, Lex, unsurprisingly, doesn't care too much about the lives of civilians, putting them in harm's way without much of a second thought, and only caring about getting his hands on some superpower. There are no good qualities to Lex, and the only reason he isn't at the bottom is because the film's main villain does even more messed up things than him. The gold medal of evil goes to the evil hairless guinea pig, Lulu. This villainess makes her evilness very clear, starting things off with a bang by leaving her fellow shelter pets, minus Whiskers, to die in a fire that she started, taunting them as she leaves. Naturally, she just gets worse from there, from capturing the League with her guinea pig army and trying to kill them, to attacking Crypto both physically and emotionally, to even being completely unwilling to back down even after being betrayed by Lex. With how much pleasure she seems to take in being evil and taking her own emotional struggles out on others, she practically borders on sadistic. Her final attacks in the film's climax shows her brutality and cruelty, and while she may have been adopted after her defeat, Lulu is far from redeemed. Like Lex, she has no good qualities, with her own good deed being her rescue of Whiskers, not being willing to let a cute and adorable kitten die in a fire that she started, mind you. Yeah. Needless to say, this one good act is completely overshadowed by all her evilness. There is no one more deserving of the most evil Super Pets character title. Before we go, we have to hand out some center medals. First, the Gluttony medal is going to Merton. This turtle's biggest motivators are lettuce leaves and flowers, to the point where she's even willing to take a quick snack break instead of immediately stopping a bomb. Talk about letting your stomach lead. The Envy medal naturally has to go to Crypto. Although he was able to move past it eventually, a good chunk in the film had him worry about Lois replacing him as Superman's best friend, to the point where he was starting to get angry about their dates. Not a good look. The Lust medal goes to Soups. While it's not the strongest show of lust that we've ever seen in an animated film, his romantic feelings for Lois drive much of the initial conflict, occasionally blinding him to Crypto's worries and needs. Earning the Pride medal is Lex Luthor. Like we said earlier, Lex cared so much about his villainous reputation that the idea of sharing any credit with a guinea pig, even one as powerful and smart as Lulu, was absurd, ultimately leading to his defeat. The Sloth medal goes to Mercy. This was an easy pick for us, as we're not really sure what Mercy's job actually is. She probably does have one, but outside of poking fun at Lex's ego, she doesn't really do much else and doesn't even stick around for the final fight. And finally, the Wrath medal goes to Lulu. For as much love and respect she had for Lex, all that went out the window the moment he betrayed her. All Lulu wanted after that was revenge, and honestly, we can't completely blame her. Alright guys, that's it. Let us know in the comment section if you agree with our ranking, and tell us what we should cover next. Remember to hit that notification bell and binge our Good to Evil playlist, where we break down the morality of the characters in your favorite cartoons, shows, and movies. But most importantly, stay wicked.